TWF Dynamite or Mike. I, Michael Cole, with Tony Schiavone and with Taz. And today on Dynamite or Mike, we're going to have a good show here today on Dynamite or Mike. Yesterday on NXT, we saw that Seth Rollins is now the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight fighter again. And as we do know, that Seth Rollins happens to be overseen by Paulie Dangerously now, Michael Cole says. So, you know how that came out. Well, I can tell you one thing right now, Michael. No one thought that Seth Rollins would have Paulie Dangerously would take him on as his new overseer. I mean, we didn't see that coming at all. And him just giving him the TWF heavyweight winnings for the 2nd time. No one saw that coming either. You know what, Michael and Tony? Seth Rollins had all the skills. He just needed someone to really show him how to put it together. I mean, yes, he won the WWE heavyweight winnings 2 times. Yes, he won the W41 Reich winnings 2 times. Yes, he won the W Interland Body winnings 2 times. Yes, he won the World Tag Team winnings many times. Yes, he won the WWE NXT heavyweight winnings, the first to ever hold it. Yes, he was a former FCW heavyweight fighter too. But now, with Paulie Dangerously, Seth Rollins doesn't have to worry about anything or anyone anymore. All that Seth Rollins has to worry about these days is who's he going to put a strap on the row with. Well, as we know, Taz, Michael Cole says, Paulie Dangerously did a lot to help Seth Rollins keep the TWF heavyweight winnings after he won it yesterday on NXT, Michael Cole. So you can't really even say that he won it. No, you really can't say that he won it at all, Tony Schiavone said. It was more like it was given to him. So no, he didn't win it. It was like, given to him. Like a gift. You can't say that, Taz says. You can't say that. To say that the TWF heavyweight winnings was given to him, as a gift. Because it was, Taz says. Because it was, Tony Schiavone said. What match did Seth Rollins go in to become the 2-time TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight fighter? Tony Schiavone said, yeah, I want to know, Michael Cole said, what match did you see him wrestle in, Taz? Did you see him beat Cody Rhodes? Because we all know, Michael Cole says, we didn't see him do that. Well, anyway, here it comes now. Now Paulie Dangerously's coming to the ring now. Ladies and lords, my name is Paul E. Dangerously. At least that's what I was known in my time in the AWA and MACW and WCW and ECW, but not in my first run in WWF WWE and on my 2-diff run in WWE. And now I am the overseer of a wrestler that I know will go on to do great things. Oh, and I also got Braun Steiner as one of my other buyers too, but we don't got Braun Breaker or Braun Steiner's doll. But the doll we do have, and we got a lot of them. And you, the TWF heavyweight fighter, Seth Rollins. You're right, Paulie Dangerously. I'm gonna do what Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns could never do. I'm gonna do what all those other folks, what CM Punk and Antonio Cesaro and Silverback Ryback and Curtis Axel could never do. I'm gonna do what Big Show and Kurt Angle and Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin could never do. What Doug Basham, Danny Basham, or what Test, Mike Knox, Hardcore Holly could never do. I could do what Jonathan Heidenreich and Jason Albert won't do. And I'll do what Sabu and Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk and Balls Mahoney could never do. Hell, I could do what Lance Storm, Mike Awesome, Raven Taz, and Steve Austin, Sean Stasiak, Chris Kanyon could never do. I could do what James Uso, Jason Uso, Sikoa, Sami Zayn could never do either. You're right. You're going to do things that none of those other wrestlers I ever was the overseer of could ever do. I saw you, Seth Rollins, take Aleister Black, who was a former former WWE NXT heavyweight fighter like yourself, and I saw how you beat him. And at the end of the day, no one is going to say that you couldn't win. Oh, is that right? Is that right? Well, I gotta have a talk with you, Paulie Dangerously. And that shithead Seth Rollins over there. Because if I could think back to you, thinking that you're going to be so great. Oh, coming up with all these great sagas and tales. Look at all the shit that you did. Let's talk about all the great shit you did in the AWA and MACW, WCW, ECW, WWF, WWE. How about when I came from NXT to Raw and you made me team me up with Kevin Owens and Rey Mysterio, which that wasn't bad. But then you made me get my eye wounded in some bullshit saga and tale didn't go anywhere. And then instead of fighting Seth Rollins' team at the time, with Buddy Murphy and Razor and Akam, you started making me war against Kevin Owens instead. So I want to hear how great crafter you are. And Seth Rollins, you know that if it wasn't for this bald-headed slide of shit, that I would be the TWF heavyweight fighter. Is that right? Because I could tell you, Aleister Black, I was the first WWE NXT heavyweight fighter, held it for a long time, lost it to Big E Langston, but hell, I held it longer than you did. You beat Andrade Cien and held it for some time, and then you lost it to Tommaso Ciampa because Johnny Gargano fucked up. I want to have another match with you, so-called seer, upriser. You want to pick a fight with me? Well, you're going to pick a fight with this Evenlander, Neverlander, and I'm going to kick your head off, and then I'm going to be the TWF heavyweight fighter, because you know they withdraw the world heavyweight winnings. You can't. First off, Aleister Black, you already lost to Seth Rollins yesterday on NXT. So why would you think you want to fight him here today on Dynamite or Mike? Because I have the right to do it, Paulie Dangerously. Because I lost to him, so it gives me the right to want to fight him again. And that's right. You know, Aleister Black is right, Paulie Dangerously. Since Aleister Black did lose to Seth Rollins yesterday on NXT. But here today on Dynamite or Might, we will have another match. And we will see Aleister Black fight Seth Rollins for the TWF Heavyweight and World for the TWF Heavyweight winnings. And that match happens now. Well, as you know, folks, Michael Cole says, yesterday Michael Cole says, as you know, Seth Rollins did fight Aleister Black yesterday on NXT, and Seth Rollins beat him thanks to Paulie Dangerously. Yeah, he's over there. But will it happen again, Michael Cole says. I don't really think it will happen again, Tony Schiavone says. This time Paulie Dangerously needs to keep out of the match. Yes, Taz says. I think Aleister Black needs to not worry about Paulie Dangerously. He needs to worry about Seth Rollins, because that's the one he's truly wrestling. That's the one he's truly fighting. But I don't see him winning it, though. This match is for the TWF Heavyweight and World Heavyweight winnings. First, he is from the Netherlands. He's from Alfredam, Netherlands. He is Aleister Black. And he is the TWF Heavyweight fighter, Seth Rollins. Ding, ding. Well, first off, here it is. Here comes Seth Rollins. Oh, and Aleister Black right now, who is hoping to become the TWF Heavyweight fighter. And Aleister Black, who came from big lots, just like this Seth Rollins did too. Michael Cole says, but that doesn't really mean nothing. Oh, in a closed state. First off, Tony Schiavone said, Aleister Black needs to not worry about Paulie Dangerously. He needs to worry about Seth Rollins, the so-called seer, the so-called uprising. Yeah, but you know, that's going to be hard for Aleister Black to do, because he had to be worried about Paulie Dangerously yesterday on NXT, and that's how he lost, Taz says, so I think it's going to happen again. Aleister Black wanted to do the kick, but Seth Rollins got out of the way. Seth Rollins just slammed Aleister Black back first into the ring steeple. And now I think you get ready for, the curb stomp. Is that going to be it? Is Seth Rollins going to beat Aleister Black? 1, 2, and a kick out. I thought that was a free, Taz says. That had to be a free. You know. No, Taz, that was a 2. That was only 2, Michael Cole says. And Seth Rollins has to do a lot more. And Aleister Black just gave Seth Rollins a kick. And down he went. And now he's going to give another kick, Michael Cole says. Will this kick that Aleister Black does, will he become the new TWF heavyweight fighter, Tony Schiavone says? Well, I don't think that's going to happen, Taz says, unless he gets lucky, which I don't see him getting lucky, Taz says. Here we go. 1, 2. Paulie Dangerously just pulled the Fight Lord. What's that all about? The Fight Lord just got pulled by Paulie Dangerously. And now, once again, Paulie Dangerously just played, And this time, once again, like last time, Michael Cole said Paulie Dangerously had to help Seth Rollins beat Aleister Black, Michael Cole says, with a curve stomp. Yeah, Tony Schiavone says, that's not luck. That's because someone's helping him. Well, Taz says, bad, tough luck, bad luck for Aleister Black. You know, looks like he'll have to go to the back of the row now. Taz says, 1, 2, 3. Here is your winner, and still the TWF heavyweight fighter, you know, Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins is still the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight fighter, and Aleister Black would have won if it was not for Paulie Dangerously pulling the fight keeper's foot almost out of the ring before you get to the free reckoning. You know, Michael Cole says, yeah, I can tell you right now, Tony Schiavone says, Seth Rollins won by the skin of his teeth. You know, the teeth doesn't have no skin. And at the end of the day, he's lucky. He's still a TWF heavyweight and world TWF heavyweight fighter. I'll tell you right thing, Taz says, it looks like that Aleister Black will have to go in the back of the line. You know, go in the back of the line, back of the row, and someone new will have to fight, will have to stand up, you know, to fight Seth Rollins. Whoever that's going to be, Taz says. Well, we won't know who that's going to be, and we'll take it away now to Sarah Shiver. Thank you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with Seth Rollins and Paulie Dangerously here today on Dynamite. First off, Sarah Shiver, I want to say that my man Seth Rollins here had 2 matches and he beat Aleister Black, meaning that now Aleister Black doesn't have to worry. Seth Rollins don't have to worry about fighting Aleister Black anymore. Aleister Black can go in the back of the row, and we can get ready to deal with someone else who would be more worthy of Seth Rollins to fight. We don't know who that's going to be. And Seth Rollins, you seem to be stand up. You seem to be truly happy with yourself. Stand up. Yeah, what's not to be happy about? I'm a 2-time TWF heavyweight fighter. I beat Aleister Black not once, but 2 times. You can't get any more lucky than that. And so, Aleister Black can say whatever he wants. He can make up whatever forgiveness he wants for why he didn't win. His shoes were unbinded. The sun was in his eyes. But at the end of the day, I still beat Aleister Black. And now I don't have to deal with Aleister Black anymore. But sooner or later, there will be a man or a woman that you will have to deal with, Seth Rollins. Are you going to be ready for whoever is going to dare you for the TWF heavyweight winnings? I don't know, Sarah, who that man or woman will be that I'll have to wrestle or fight for the TWF heavyweight winnings. However, I know one thing. I will be ready for whoever he or she is. Well, that's my talk with Seth Rollins and Paulie Dangerously. Alright, back to you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Sarah Shiver, for talking with Paulie Dangerously and Seth Rollins here today on Dynamite or Mike. And that's all the time we've got here for Dynamite or Mike. I, Michael Cole, with Tony Schiavone and with Taz. We hope you like Dynamite or Mike, and we'll see you tomorrow for Impact or Hit.